Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol ARWR. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I've done this analysis before, and I like to do this time frame because I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price and makes levels of support and resistance easier to see. And like I said, done it before. I don't remember, to be honest, the last time I did it, but the nice thing about my chart platform, eSignal, is whenever I put up an annotation, it remembers where they are. So no matter how much later I come back and look, the lines are all still there. So needless to say, though, the price has made quite a move since the last time I did any updates. First thing I'm going to do is a little house cleaning, just delete these lines out here. Yes, they still pertain to the chart. They're just not relevant anymore. So we'll try to keep this as clean as possible from a presentation standpoint. Million lines everywhere. All that's going to do is create clutter, and that's not what I'm trying to accomplish here. The first update, though, that needs to be made, though, is based on a foundational principle in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So $1.65, more so that key overall area of support. That's important because, I'm assuming I'm stating the obvious when I say price movements with true power are going to progress forward. They're not going to go back to where they were. Again, I'm saying, well, thanks, Captain Obvious. Of course, if something is truly strong, it's not going to go back to where it was. And that's where $1.65 comes into play. I mean, if the price were to close below there, we're set separate to the downside. At that point, that would be putting the price back inside of this range where it already was. Again, going back, not a sign of true strength. Whereas if the price pulled back here, not saying it will, but let's just pretend, bounced around and then headed back up, at that point you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have that set right there. You'd have that set right there. Hopefully you're getting kind of the gist of what I'm saying. If you picture each of those as stair steps, well, hey, the stair steps are still progressing in the upwards direction. So from the big picture perspective, $1.65, definitely that important area of support. Ideally speaking, what would make the chart look the absolute strongest going forward? If the price can stay up above that point right there to $1.75, that would be a best case scenario. But if the price does drop below $1.75, by no means am I saying that the entire chart's ruined or anything like that. Now, what about levels of resistance? If this upwards move is going to continue, where are some of these potential battlegrounds at? So for this, going to have to scrunch up the chart here a little bit, maybe even go to another time frame. Well, it looks like we may be in a blue sky breakout. Let's see here. Yeah. At this point, a chart is essentially in a blue sky breakout just because the next area of support is at that 50-day simple moving average, which is up there at 317. So as it stands right now, blue sky breakout would be the easiest way to kind of describe things from the resistance standpoint of things. So as long as the price keeps on putting in higher lows like it's been doing, the chart's going to continue to take care of itself. One of the most popular questions I get is, hey, Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together this free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then by all means, click right there to get access to the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point. And like I say, it is free. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.